Hey guys, it's David James from Business Growth Digital Marketing. Today's guest is Ali Salman. He is joining us from Canada. He is the online marketer who grew his agency beyond $2.5 million in revenue in the last 3 years. Yes, I did not stutter. That was three, I said. He works with local service providers to get more leads and a local set and other online marketing strategies. His agency's name is Rapid Boost Marketing. He's been featured on the likes of Jason Swank, EO Fire, Nathan Letka, Huffington Post, and other publications. Without any further ado, let me introduce the man himself. Ali, welcome aboard.
Hey guys, thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to have you, David, right? I'm looking forward to having this conversation with you, first of all, and basically, hopefully provide tons of value. So whoever is watching it, right, can at least damn learn one or two things, man. Because time is important. And if they're wasting on Netflix, might as well they waste it on watching this, eh?
Yeah, well, man, they're not going to be wasting their time. I have a feeling you're going to be dropping some nuggets today. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, so
Awesome, awesome. No, I'm looking forward to have your show, and thank you for having me.
yeah, well, you're welcome. So I've done a brief introduction to you,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah, why don't you tell us a bit about yourself?
So guys, I moved to Canada in 2005 with the hopes of going to university. In
Mhm.
2 years of university, I figured, what, this shit is not for me, and I dropped out. When I
Mhm.
dropped out, I went on to work for there's a company called in Canada, the Brick.com. It's the biggest furniture retailer
Yep.
and electronics, and they sell a lot of in-home products, right?
Mhm.
I went on to work for them. And I went there for 2.5 years, and they went on to launch the Brick.com, which was Canada's biggest online furniture retailer.
Mhm.
Okay, and appliances and all that products. So that's where I got the bug of online marketing.
Yep.
And in 2013, 2000, 2012 and 2013, my brother he got laid off from Dell,
Mhm.
and he came to me and he said, what, Ali, we should start an agency because we have the perfect background. I
Mhm.
understand technicalities, you understand sales and marketing, you have
Yep.
experience. And we started an agency, man. So we were broke for the first year, and then we did the right things, and we basically scaled, and now we work with clients pretty much all over the world, but predominantly local service providers.
Yep.
And yeah, I mean, we have aggressive growth plans, and bottom line is that end of the day, it all comes down to results, right? So
Yeah.
even
Yeah. Exactly.
whoever is watching today, it doesn't matter what do you do. I mean, you need results, and in the form of leads, in the form of sales, in the
Mhm.
form of traffic.
Yep.
Um, so eh, anything you do in marketing, online marketing, SEO, any trick, any technique, any strategy you apply,
Mhm.
the end goal is how the hell it can help my result, right? Can I if I'm getting like 5 people, can I get 10 people? Can I
Yep.
getting 10? How can I get a 15, right? And it's
Yep.
that game, right? And I love that chase, man. I love that chase, that just getting damn leads, man. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Oh, it's an amazing buzz, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you said something that's really interesting though, because like you are an entrepreneur, and there's a lot of entrepreneurs out there that start off as solopreneurs, but you co-founded it with your brother.
Yeah.
Like what kind of difference do you see with people who start off doing something on a solo basis compared to people who co-found and work with someone else in order to get things off the ground?
Okay, so this is a really good topic because I actually talk to people a lot about this, David, because it's
Yep.
a good question. So technically, we are three partners, right?
Yep.
And we grew so fast because we all focused on different things in the business.
Yep.
So I never I don't look after the fulfillment of the product at all.
Yep.
Okay, my job with I have two salespeople team right in the front end. All we do is we convert our inbound leads to
Mm.
customers, right?
Yep.
Then my other two partners, all their focus is to basically fulfill the product.
Yep.
Okay, so when you have two or three founders with you, what you can do is you can segment some of the opportunities. Let's say you are good at something, they suck at something, or
Yep.
you suck at something, they're really good at, so you guys can divide the responsibilities. That's a really good thing. The second thing is that the problem I've seen with a lot of creative guys out there, either you do SEO, either you website design, either you do CRO, whatever you're doing in online space, right?
Mm-hmm.
90% of the time they cannot grow because they are one man army. So
Yes.
either you hire VAs, either you hire someone out there to offload work, or you should have partners, right? And I think like the best example, David, is software as a service company, SaaS
Yes.
companies. uh, like they are so open to partnerships, right? So you go there to a startup, they're like, yeah, I mean, you can join as a coder and we'll give you like 3% of the share or 5% of the share.
Yeah.
And that person is not making anything, but they have like $20 million exit. So I
Yes.
think we have to start thinking like that too, that like if a partner can help you grow fast,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, that like some things you cannot do really really well and they
Yeah.
can help you do well, then why won't you do a partnership, man?
Yeah,
Yeah.
look, I completely agree. And it's really great that you're able to find, really, really good partners in the beginning. I think that's another challenge,
Yeah.
it's a bit like marriage,
Yeah.
is it a long-term commitment and is it a commitment that's going to work? Are they the perfect partner?
So there are websites out there nowadays, right? I think I forgot the names. There's like 3 or 4 now different websites which can help you find a co-founder.
Yep.
And I will highly recommend it to people, especially let's say you do an amazing SEO, but you
Hmm.
suck at sales,
Yeah.
right? So you can get someone who is amazing at sales but doesn't understand shit about SEO, and you
Yep.
guys can partner, and like you can create a big agency out of it, because now you have two strengths combining it together, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I also just wanted to ask about the multiplier effect with having like several partners compared to just going out on your own. What do you think about that?
Oh, it's 100%, right? So example is it's also not making the stupid decision.
Mm.
Sometimes as an individual, we are in an emotional state. So
Yes.
we make a decision. If you're an alone guy, you're running the ship, you're the captain, and you said screw it and you just moved like that.
Yeah.
And guess what? There's iceberg there, right?
Yeah.
But when you have 3 people in the room, you cannot just go like this. You say to the other person, hey, I'm thinking about this. Then there's a third person. So you have like equal input, right? So
Yes.
I always say 100% but you also don't need enough people in the room that it becomes too many noises. So
Yes.
you need, I think, 3 4 people maximum, 5 people maximum if it's a big business, right? Okay. But I usually think that 2 to 3 is a sweet spot, right?
Yeah.
Where you can at least have a second voice, right? And it definitely has a multiplier effect, because um I always say that everyone is very different and they have a different skill set to bring on the table.
Yes.
And your partners, and if your partners can complement you in the areas you're weak at, right? Okay. Maybe they are amazing, like a conference speaker, right? Okay.
Hmm.
They can go and like promote you on the stage, right? Like there's
Yes.
so many different things you can do with your partners, and definitely that can be, it's like putting a fire, uh or like putting a fuel on a fire kind of thing, that if you get the right partner, it
Yeah.
definitely has a multiplier effect for you.
Yeah. I just quickly want to touch base just on the partnership thing. You know, like there's going to be times when partners agree and there's going to be times when partners disagree, but ultimately everyone wants to get to the final goal. So
Yeah.
like when there are those challenges, like what's your tips for like managing that and making sure that everyone can move forward collectively,
Yeah.
like regardless of, differences of opinions in some cases.
Sure. So as a soccer team, as a football team or as an ice hockey team, you have, let's say, 11 players in the team, right?
Yep.
And you have 10 players in the team. Everyone wants to win.
Yes.
Bottom line is that everyone wants to win. So as a partners too, everyone wants to win.
Hmm.
As long as as long as you have that mindset, right, you can disagree with your partners, it's okay there. But
Yep.
end of the day, it should be based on logic, it doesn't have to be based on emotion.
Yep.
So we always say that, let's say if your partner comes with an idea, or they say, hey, you know what, we're going to do things differently this way, then you say okay, because logically it doesn't make any sense. So if
Hmm.
as long as the logic is involved,
Yep.
you will make sure that always trump emotion. That's number one thing. And the
Yep.
second thing is that you always remind yourself as partners that, hey guys, our goals are same. So us banging against each other doesn't do anything, right? Okay. So might as well, and then sometimes if you're confused about a decision making, try different things out, guys. Who tells you to implement one thing all the way? Try two things at once.
Mm.
Try one thing for 3 months and try different things for another 3 months, right? I
Yep.
mean, like you can be creative with like working around with the partnership, as long as everyone knows
Mm-hmm.
that it's not about David, it's not about Ali, it's not about John's, it's not about Kim's, it's damn about the company, and company should make more money. And
Yes.
if company makes more money, or we all make more money.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, look, amazing tips. No, really appreciate
Yeah.
that. Now I just want to switch it up because you said that you specialize in local SEO,
Yeah.
and like it's a sector that's continually growing. So it's a really really good market that you guys are in. Can you just talk us through some of the things you've been doing? How you find
Yeah.
success, how you demonstrate results.
Yeah. Yeah. So good question. See, local SEO now, if you're looking for a location-based services, I mean, anyone, your plumber, accountant, lawyer, anyone, right, who is roofing guy, I
Yep.
mean, your cleaning lady, anyone who is location-driven, restaurants, strip clubs,
Yep.
anything, man, you name it, like anyone is a location-driven business, SEO is, they need it, period,
Yep.
right? Okay. And now, and it doesn't matter how, like it is as small of a town as 5,000 people, as big of a city as Melbourne, Brisbane, or like if you talk about Canada, bigger cities like Vancouver, Toronto, right? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
5 million, 10 million people, right? You cannot survive without local SEO, so there's no way
Yep.
there. So where we come in into place, we know that, see, local SEO is very critical for your success, but
Mm-hmm.
now, of course, local SEO is, you have to do it right, right? And I'm going to
Mm.
go over that what you things you need to do right. But
Yep.
SEO doesn't just go to bringing the traffic. Yes, it's still bringing the traffic, but it also comes down to like, okay, how good are your reviews?
Yep.
How, when people click on your website, can they even damn convert or not, right?
Yep.
Okay. So SEO is an amazing way to basically throw the bait out there and get the fish.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what kind of fish you are getting, that's around beyond SEO now. So we do that for local businesses, right? But majority of the leads come in, David. 90% of the of clients we have,
Mm-hmm.
majority of the phone calls come in, leads coming into their businesses, it's through local search engine optimization. Okay.
Yep.
So to get started with, if a company walks to us and says, hey guys, what, we are not ranking locally.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a local plumber, or
Yep.
I am a local like restaurant. I'm a local like salon. I mean, whatever I'm doing locally, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not ranking, guys. Like, I don't know what's happening. And Google shows 3 or 4 map results right now.
Yep.
So and we know that 50-60% guys search are coming from your phone. So if
Yep.
bottom line is that if Ali is looking for a dentist, he damn needs a dentist. He's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
just
Exactly.
hanging out. He's like, let me look for a dentist this
Yeah. Yeah.
evening, right?
Exactly.
So if people are that serious, right, even if 10 people are looking for it, they
Mm-hmm.
are really high intent people. So
Yes.
we tell people that, let's say if in a local city, if there's 500 searches for a keyword,
Mm-hmm.
or 5,000 searches for a keyword, you cannot afford to miss not to be there.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Exactly.
now, if a new business came to us and said they are not ranking, so first thing we do, David, is we look at their name, address, and phone number consistency, their opening
Yes.
hours consistency, which we call it a citation consistency, NAP
Yes.
consistency, we call it.
Yep.
You can use tools like Bright Local, Yext, Moz citation builder. There's a White Spark out there. There's all these tools out there you can use, and right away in 2 minutes, man, what's wrong with this guy's local SEO?
Yep.
Because guess what? On Yellow Pages, he has a different phone number. On 411, his address is different.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Google thinks that there is freaking damn 3 people who should be trust, right? So
Mm-hmm.
now, number one thing, we always look at the consistency of the information. Okay,
Yes.
we fix that. Then we always build high authority citations.
Yes.
Okay, so we have a list narrowed down, right? So we have a client in Australia, we have a client in Canada, we have a client in US. We have narrowed down a list of 120 to 150 top
Yeah.
domain authority and domain page authority citations, right? Okay, which are the bare minimum for our clients to have that, to have linked there. Okay, to
Yep.
start with. And if we do that within 30 days right away, we know the results are very fast. Okay.
Yep.
Then what we do is like right away we tell our clients that, guys, in next 30 days we want you guys to start getting reviews, as many as you can.
Yep.
Start emailing your old customers, start emailing your new customers, start like um asking to people who you have helped, right? Okay, for free. Start asking like some volunteer organization you have donated to, anywhere you can, people can actually leave you good positive legit review.
Yes.
Get that. Okay. And let's say like so usually like this we do reviews. Then what we do is we go and fix their website. So we make sure
Yep.
that like if you're using Yoast local SEO plugin, or
Mm-hmm.
like if you're using like an on page, so making sure on page has like city mentioned in the tags, and like
Yes.
headings and all that. So that's second thing.
Yep.
Now these three things are bare minimum for every campaign. We do it regardless. Okay.
Yep.
Then we also do three or four different things which are a little bit more advanced. Okay. So what we do, number one advanced thing is we do is like, we focus more on the local media and
Mm-hmm.
try to get their brand name out there, because what Google is also is looking at the brand name searches. If the brand
Yes.
name searches are very high, automatically you're getting a little bit of favor over over other Joe out there, because you tend to be more popular.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we do that. Then we look at their social media. Then we say,
Mm-hmm.
okay, you know what? Can we send strong social signals over next 30 to 60 days, right? Okay. And tell like, you know what, hey, I mean, there's a lot of people who are talking about this. So this proximity of topics and like brand is very active here, right? So
Mm-hmm.
they should get their fair share in social signals.
Yep.
Perfect, right? Okay, that makes sense, right? Then what we also do is like we tend to create like a in-depth long form page on the client's website for 2 or 3 keywords.
Yes.
Very in-depth, 2000 words, right? Okay. Not spammy,
Yep.
provides good information, right? Okay. um, if let's say talk about local dentist, we'll talk about city, we'll talk about like some other things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so not spammy, right? It's not just stuffed and shit, like I mean, like it's not
Yep.
provide any value, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we do these things, right? Okay. And then once we do that, we know that within 45 to 60 days time,
Mm-hmm.
we have like I mean 50 to 60% improvement. And
Yep.
then like we use like rank checkers like SERP rank, SERP book, and like we have Sive dashboards. So we do use different tracking tools to show to the client that, hey, you know what, guys, you started at fifth page. Today, as of today, you are at like seventh position, or you
Mm-hmm.
today, as of today, you are at top three position, right? And then what we are also doing is, for every client we use call tracking.
Yep.
We mandate that,
Mm-hmm.
because we cannot tell them, guys, there is no way we can track the calls, right? Because you can just say, hey, you know what? So when we are building the citations, we build it through our call tracking number.
Yep.
So now what's happening that like within 30 to 60 days, when the client starts seeing like 15 calls, 20 calls, 30
Yep.
calls coming in, I mean, that changes the whole game, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Like it demonstrates the results of what you're doing. So that's amazing.
Yeah, yeah. So that's why, like when and as long as the results starts coming in, then we
Mm.
can like focus on, say, hey, you know what, right now we are doing conversion at 5%. How can we get to 6%? Then
Yep.
we look at like their analytics. We do conversion rate optimization. Even basically, it's like now we have a lemon and we are squeezing out more and more juice
Yeah.
out of it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And we try to get more and more and more out of it, basically by basically improving their content, their landing pages, their
Mm-hmm.
website, right? Like let's say we're doing small things, right? Like live chat, heat
Yep.
maps, all those kind of things, to figure it out that, hey, you know what, I mean, we get 1,000 people for this website.
Mm-hmm.
How can we convert at 7%? Why right now we're converting at 4?
Yeah.
Because it's a two-way street. You get more traffic, You
Mm-hmm.
convert more traffic. You cannot just keep going high on traffic and your conversion is keep tanking.
Yeah,
Or you cannot
exactly.
go very high on conversion and your traffic is tanking. So both has to basically increase and steadily. And bottom line is that because you're tracking each and everything, we
Mm-hmm.
tend to also have email tracking. So we for WordPress we use HubSpot's plugin, Lead In, or
Yep.
Ninja Form something. So we are tracking each and every lead coming in.
Yes.
So when we sit down with the client, I mean, everything is transparent, and we say, "Hey, David,
Yep.
we got you 7 deals this month, right?"
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then
yeah.
David is like, "Okay, guys, perfect, right? Like, I'm happy with that, right?" Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, look, it's a no-brainer, and that's
Yeah.
amazing with what you're doing. Like another thing with what you just said, which is amazing, is you're able to demonstrate the quick wins. Now,
Mhm.
everyone who's done SEO knows that it's a long-term game,
Yeah.
and a lot of the strategies they normally take between 6 to 12 months, 18 months, 2 years.
Yeah.
But people want to see the quick wins straight away.
Yeah.
And it really sounds like you guys have been able to crack that code with the local SEO space.
Yeah. Yeah. So, quick wins is important because the problem is that SEO for a lot of people is a snake oil thing, right? So we
Yeah.
tell people that, guys, I mean, let's say if you're a lawyer in New York,
Mm-hmm.
lawyer in New York keyword will take time for you to rank,
Mm-hmm.
but let's say a keyword like divorce lawyer in New York, you'll
Yes.
rank like pretty fast, right?
Yep.
And especially for organic rankings, yes, it will take time because maybe your domain authority is not even there. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
your page authority is not even there. That will take time, guys, to build. And we all know that as a strategic SEO when we do it. But when we talk about maps, right?
Yes.
Map is very driven by citations, it's driven by proximity, it's driven by consistency, right?
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes you're going to find that in your local city, there's a guy ranking, he has no reviews, but he
Mm.
has a consistent information on Google,
Yep.
right? On directories, on citations, on different websites, right? So local SEO is definitely one way that you can show the client, especially for the local guys, you can show them like really really fast results.
Yep.
And this is not fast as in like Facebook ads fast as in tomorrow morning. This
Yeah.
is still 30 days, 60 days time.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, you know what, 60 days is a good amount of time for them to see the trend. And if they see the
Yep.
trend, let's say you move from position 20 to position 7, that's a
Yep.
clear them upcoming. Sometimes in some industries we might not get the phone ringing in 60 days,
Yeah.
but if they are seeing the improvement, they know the organic traffic is generally going up, right?
Yep.
It's very clear indication that where they're heading, right? And majority of the times, right, okay, we know that we tell them that hey guys, you know what, this is like swimming across from one edge of the river to the second edge of the river. You cannot just in the middle say, you know what, I'm giving up.
Yeah.
If you give up,
Exactly.
you're gonna freaking wash out and you'll be dead, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So when you play the SEO game, you play it in a way that you do it properly.
Yep.
And I will highly recommend what you said, that if you have a client and they want to rank for a very competitive keyword, you tell them, guys, it's a 6 month to 12 month game.
Yep.
And just at least, and if what the much more even higher competitor, it could be like 12 to 24 month game, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Exactly.
um we'll try. I mean, we do our best, and everything is tracked to Google Analytics.
Yep.
um Everything is transparent, right? And I think as an SEO people, we have to be very clear and transparent with our people, because the more we educate people, our clients, the more they trust us. Like
Yes.
we work really hard in the back end. We are doing this, we're doing that, we're trying to implement strategies. Tell
Yes.
your clients, guys, like, what the hell are you doing? The more
Yep.
you share with them, the more they appreciate that what you have to do for them.
Yeah, oh, look, I completely agree with what you said. Now, there's another topic I just wanted to touch on, which is the long form content.
Yeah.
Now, there's a lot of people, especially traditional like marketers or traditional brand marketers, that just believe in
Yeah.
short copy. And
Yeah.
like short copy has its place, it can work in some cases. I personally find much better results with long form copy. Just wanted to get
Yeah.
you to share your experience and your thoughts.
Yeah. So it's very interesting. So we do both, right? In one way
Yep.
or other. So we have a daily podcast, David. It's called 5-minute online marketing lessons. It's kind of a short form content. Okay.
Yep.
Then we do like, a long form content. So all of our blogs are 2000 words plus.
Mm-hmm.
Now, technically the podcast doesn't, like, if you have a short form content, you're not really getting an SEO juice there.
Yeah.
Okay. Unless you're a brand name and you are like, I mean, you are a Seth Godin in marketing, and like, people come to your blog regardless, right? Okay. So that's a different thing, right?
Yeah.
But if I look at, like, I mean, the guys who are running, like, major, like, you used to look at Munchweb, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
his blog, right? Now, it's all long form in-depth content,
Yeah.
backlinko, right? It's all long form in-depth content. Then now we all know that the the higher people, like, the more keywords they're typing, when the intent is going higher, if the intent is going higher, why the hell you wouldn't target long form? Because if the guy is typing, like, 5 or 6 keywords in his search bar,
Yeah.
that means he's very, very serious.
Yes, exactly.
Right. So I would 100%, like, move towards like long form for conversion. Short form is beautiful for, like, you can use short form content for your social media. You can
Mm-hmm.
use short form content. Like, I always, what I do is, like, we create a long form content and then we
Yeah.
chop it up and then we create short form out of it for social media, for our
Yeah.
podcast. So
Yes.
you're not working really, really hard to keep creating content. If you create a long form content, let's say you created like ultimate guide to backlinking,
Yeah.
that's like, 5,000 words, you can do a 5 series like course on it, which you can break it up. You can also do like, 5 series like, podcast on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's so many ideas you can do if you have a long form content. So start with long form
Mm-hmm.
and then chop it up, right, to use it other way. But long form is the way where you're going to basically get the money. that's the
Yes.
that's where the money is, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
look, I completely agree.
Yeah.
Now, there's another thing I wanted to just say with content, and
Yeah.
there's some people who just like quickly write something because they feel like they need to get it up, so they'll spend 20
Yeah.
minutes and then just chuck it up there, and it's not really
Yeah.
giving any value. And then there's those
Mhm.
people who actually provide like really insightful content. So not fluff, it's just actionable content that people can take
Good.
away,
Yeah.
and then they actually go
Yeah.
back and like bookmark it.
Yeah.
Like, what's your thoughts on making sure that the value of the content needs to be in there before publishing anything?
Okay. So, um, if you look at the marketers, right, they tend to produce both kind of contents.
Yep.
Um, but whenever they're blogging,
Mhm.
99% they produce long form.
Yep.
But whenever, let's say, they are like, they are creating, let's say, if I look at Neil Patel, right?
Yes.
Neil Patel's podcast is very surface information. It's
Yes.
not in depth. But
Yep.
if his blogs are much more in depth.
Mhm.
So for certain people, let's say when people are getting introduced to online marketing, they're trying to build relationship with you. Maybe you want to target them with the surface information. Okay.
Yes.
But as they get more advanced user and they are getting more advanced, right? Okay, then you can target them with a more in-depth information.
Yes.
Okay. So I personally say that there's always a place for both of them.
Mhm.
But if I'm limited as a content creator, I would start with a long form.
Yep.
Okay. Because as I said, with the long form, you can chop it up and create a short form out of it and do
Mhm.
anything with that if you want, right? So,
Yep.
and personally, I would say that, like, try to try to provide in-depth information, because that's where you gain your authority.
Mhm.
The more in depth you go, the more authoritative you will be.
Yes.
So I always say that, like, it's you can keep providing, let's say, social triggers, like a Derek Harper, he does a short form, right?
Yes.
There's a lot of people out there who do short form, but from SEO standpoint of view, I think like long form is much more better. And, like, even from a brand building aspect perspective, people trusting you aspect, long form is much more better. Now, personally, I would say that if you're doing podcast, if you're doing Facebook live, I would provide like, surface information, and
Yes.
then try to get them on the website, try to get them on the landing page or somewhere
Yes.
where I can get their business.
Yes.
So to try to use short form as your front end pitch, and the long form to gain more authority. Because if you want to gain authority, let's say, like, in landscaping SEO, right?
Yes.
Uh, you cannot do that by providing surface information. You need to go very much in depth, right? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and show that to people that you got what it takes, and
Mm-hmm.
then people start trusting you. Because why do people watch Moz's blog? Why do people watch Backlinko's blog? Why do people
Yes.
watch Neil Patel's blog? It's
Yes.
all in-depth research information which these guys do themselves, and then basically went on to implement it, right?
Yeah.
So as an upcoming search engine guys, as an upcoming marketers, I would recommend you guys to go much more in depth, right, with the content. And then if you want to create a podcast out of it, then try not to go in depth, and try to just mention 2 3 key takeaways in that, right?
Mm-hmm. This is amazing. Like what you said is absolutely amazing. So, like for everybody who's watching, definitely take this advice on, especially if you're in the early stages of your business or your online business. In-depth content is a very quick way to like demonstrate your credibility and to get people to buy into like yourself, your brand, and what your company is offering. Ali, I want to thank you for being on the show today. Like,
Yeah.
I think Jay-Z would be proud, and he would actually give you the mic to actually drop it. So yeah. So I want to say thank you.
Well, no,
Yeah.
I really appreciate guys. I think thank you for having me, David. Any way I can add value, guys, reach out to me. And but bottom line is that keep grinding, keep hustling,
Yeah.
because so much opportunity is there, right?
Yeah. Like, what's the best way for people to find you and your agency and your businesses?
So, you can find me on Twitter at Canadian LM Pro. My agency is just Google Rapid Boost Marketing. You guys gonna find me. Just Google my name, Ali Salman, Rapid Boost Marketing. Reach out to me anyway, LinkedIn, Twitter, or through my website, right? Just mention that my name, and I'll get back to you. I love to collaborate. I love to help out, because I always say that, guys, the pie is so big to eat that even if we eat it together, will do much better. So I always say, I believe in helping out. I believe in spreading information, and especially collaboration. That's what me and David are doing, collaborating each other, investing, helping out the community. So thank you, David, and thank you for listening today, guys. I
Uh,
really appreciate that.
Look, thank you very much. And yeah, make sure to follow him, guys. He's an amazing guy, very inspirational, and you'll continue to learn more from him. So thank you again.
Thank you, guys.